energy.
No, you exceeded, and then I matched.
See, if I set it really high, then
wait, I'm matching energies. That sounds to me like you're matching power levels.
What?
Almost like you're some type of anime fighter.
Almost like we're talking about
Death Note.
The Death Note.
Just like we're talking about Kendall Roy.
Oh my god.
Yes, it's time for that long-awaited episode. The Succession episode.
Oh my god. So, as you can see, we have a guest.
Hi, I'm Jack. I don't know.
We went to school together. You're another acting major.
I'm an actor.
We're all actors here. We've all been actors at one point.
I think we all sing.
That's a joke. That's what actors do.
That's a thing actors do. If you get it, you get it.
So we brought on Jack to talk about some anime movies.
Watashi wa Jack Corey.
And by
God damn.
God damn it.
Once you put a camera in front of me, I'm like 10 times funnier.
We brought on you to talk about some anime movies, particularly live-action Death Note, because you said that was like
that
fun.
was his recommendation.
Yeah, and I've been wanting to watch live-action Death Note for a long time as well. It's been on my Netflix queue forever. Before I watched the show, I was like, this movie looks interesting. I mean, I knew it was based on the show. There was never a moment where I was like, oh, Death Note, what's this? Oh, it's based on an anime? But like, the movie just looked interesting.
We also watched Dragonball Evolution.
And
there is no further context.
Yeah,
for
there's
that.
and Akira. So.
The famous
and Felidae.
And Felidae.
Which isn't an anime movie, but we will talk about it.
It isn't. It's an animated movie, and we watched it with our friends.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about it because it's interesting and very fear-inducing. Very fear-inducing.
I had it scheduled for the Fear podcast,
Oh.
and then it got, and then we ended up watching it anyway.
Ooh.
So I'm like, fuck it.
Oh.
We're doing it. We're doing it live.
We'll do it live.
Oh my god. No. Stop.
Channel it in, boys. Channel it in.
This is all good.
Channel in the menace.
Save that for later.
First, if we want to briefly talk about where we are in Succession, because we got this boy suckered into Succession.
I'm caught up.
Yeah, you're
before
further than
us.
we are.
Yeah.
Because we haven't had a chance
We have
to
like
watch
2
in weeks.
episodes left. So we can talk about what we've seen of season 3 and then all of Succession. So
What was the last?
Do we only have 2 episodes left? Where did we even leave off? I don't know.
we left off on.
Can I be there?
shit
Can I be there when you guys
on Kendall's birthday?
Can I be there when you guys watch like the final episode?
Ooh.
It's really.
I've heard Tom has a moment, and I'm like trying to avoid the spoilers with that.
You
Like
know what I'm talking about.
I posted an article in our server about like
By the
Tom,
time
and I was like reading that article, but I would have to pass certain parts
Yeah.
if they started talking
he
about.
really
Tom.
shines in the last.
By the
episode.
time we watch this episode, we'll probably have already seen it. So
Yeah.
spoiler
Fair
and
enough.
cheer, I guess.
Fair
I
enough.
don't know.
I mean, I don't know. Who knows if Tom's essence can be summed up in one image? I mean, unless you want
It can be
to.
summed up in one word though, and that's Greg.
No,
I would
2
Tom
words.
it.
Matthew McFadyen.
Hey, Greg.
Hey, Greg.
Hey, Greg.
Hello, Greg.
Hello, Greg.
Oh, hey, Tom. Yeah, I'm just like, like having a good time.
Since we're already talking about
So where
Greg
were
and
we
Tom.
in season 3?
Oh,
So Kendall's birthday party.
yeah, we left off. You left off on Kendall's birthday party.
How do you
And
guys,
before that was the electing the president.
how do you guys
episode.
feel about Kendall this season?
I think
Kendall's had an interesting arc.
Big Chad Giga Kendall on his
Like,
own. Is,
well, because season 1 ends.
it's like the season 1 arc, but he actually is doing.
He commits.
season
Shit.
1
He's committing
ends
to the bit.
with like a historic L for him, but
Yeah.
then season 2 ends with a historic W.
Yeah.
So then,
And now he's taking
Here we
a
are.
weird mix of the scene that is flashing into my mind right now is when him and Logan go to visit that guy who has his own private island. That
Yeah.
goes badly.
So bad.
Adrian Brody.
Season 3 really ups the like political.
They literally
back and forth.
They
Both
literally
upping
elect
the
the
political
president of the
involvement.
United.
Yeah.
They're like, this is a meeting. This is a meeting between super PACs to elect the president of the United States.
I feel like season 2 kind of, it does not drag. Drag is not the word for it, but it's taking things slowly and not too intensely up until you get to like the court stuff.
well, yeah.
But season 3 is like firing fast all the way through.
Because Kendall in season 2 is finally like back in line with the family.
Yeah.
It means it's less like family versus family politics and more just like Logan has all of his kids in line and says, "Now let's fucking kill everyone."
Yeah.
But then season 3, it once again fractures.
Now it's family v family, and who knows what season 4?
And it's even more family v family because like,
I know what season 4 is.
because like because it's even more family v family because like not only is it Kendall versus Logan, it's also like Shiv is getting more like.
Well, Kendall keeps trying to scoop up other people. He's kind of scooped up Greg. He's trying to scoop up Tom. He's trying to scoop up Roman. He's trying to scoop up Shiv. I feel like Shiv's the least receptive to his scooping.
And yet she's got the best reason to turn.
Yeah.
She was the one who seemed the most. I don't know.
Maybe Roman's less receptive to it.
It's back and forth because on one hand, like,
but it's hard to tell
she gave his offer the most thought of the 3 kids. But also, she shows the least respect to him when it comes to that article that she publishes. Because Roman and why is oldest escaped? Connor. He's my Discord fucking description. Connor Roy also, just to specify, was interested in politics at a very early age. I feel the need to say that. I don't know why.
I can't believe they almost elected him president.
He almost became president.
He almost did it.
He almost did it. And then Greg was like, I don't know, guys.
I feel like Greg saying, for the love of God, don't crown Connor the president of the United States is what seems.
Logan's health deteriorating again, too, adds such a wrinkle. It feels like a lot of things from season 1 are being roped back in after season 2.
And then we're also getting fallout from the events of season 2.
Because, like,
we're still dealing with all of the court law.
It's weird. You said we stopped with the birthday party. Most of the birthday party has escaped my mind outside of how every room in that party was uniquely suited to
there's the burn room.
So well built around Kendall's character.
I also love how all of the siblings except for Connor are able to laugh at their things. Like Roman and Shiv are like, okay, this is a funny dig at me.
Yeah.
But then Connor's like, take this down!
This could ruin my chance at the presidency!
Like, they all have a good sense of humor about themselves, except for Connor.
Yeah, Connor does not have.
He cannot laugh about
Connor does not know how to laugh.
No. I know, something I like about the season is it affirms the idea, kind of, that say what you want about Logan, he is just the best at playing this game.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Like, that episode where he's sick, and you know, they don't know what to do.
Yeah. None of them know what to do.
Like, you'd think Jerry would know what to do, but she doesn't.
No.
It's so funny, when we were talking about season 2 on this show, I feel like we had so much less I feel like we had much less to say about season 2, even just than little bit of...
Well, it's because season 2 is a lot of...
It's all established.
It's
establishment.
Yeah, you already know what's happening.
Season 1 we were talking about who these characters are. Then season 2 we were just like, this season had some really funny bits.
Yeah.
Season 2 was really good.
Yeah. No, it was. It's not even... It's just... I think season 2 is this interesting, establishing things, and then,
working with what you've established.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then this season is all about, breaking what
Season 3 is blowing a lot of doors open.
It's a very different season from 1 and 2, and I like how it's different.
Oh.
I can't pick a favorite season, because I don't think there's, a drop. Even though all 3 of them are different, I don't think there's a drop in quality.
No, there's not.
No,
it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man.
It's crazy.
It's wild.
Yeah. You know, what up, player?
What up, player?
Yo, Domino.
Yo, Domino.
What up, player?
L to the OG.
G to the OG. And he playing like a pro.
I can't believe
when I say L, you say OG. L to the
OG.
L to the OG. L to the motherfucking OG. That song was on my Spotify playlist last month, and I regret none of it.
Oh my god.
It's not on your playlist this month?
No, the Better Call Saul song is.
You know who would actually kind of fit in Better Call Saul?
Kendall Roy.
I was gonna say Tom.
Oh! I think, yeah.
Hey.
Maybe. Conor Roy.
I just wanted to
Conor was
mention
in that
Tom.
show because Conor Roy, as I said earlier, was interested in politics at a very early age.
We have wandered all over the map with this topic.
But it's still on Succession.
No, yeah. We have wandered all over the map with this topic. I think it may be time to wander to the next topic.
You can't make a Tomlet without breaking a few Gregs. Another another iconic line from season 3, Tom. I would castrate you in a heartbeat.
Yeah. You know who else are castrated often? Cats.
Oh. So Felidae is
that was a B-level transition.
He's learning from the best.
I learned from watching you, Dad.
I love it.
So Felidae is a German. Can you look up the movie so that we have more info to go off of?
Yes.
Can you hand me my water bottle?
Yes.
Can you hand me a water bottle as well?
Toss that shit. Oh! I just replay that. I spider sensed it. Holy shit.
Like Goku in Dragonball Evolution.
We're not there yet. Don't transition
And
yet.
we're skipping Felidae. All you need to know is that Cat Hitler. No, that's Warrior Cats. What was this movie?
Okay, so Felidae is a German movie.
Here we go. Felidae film.
Felidae film.
I want to feel it. I want to feel it. The film.
Felidai's nuts.
Felidae is a 1994 German adult animated mystery film directed by Michael Schack.
Shaq?
Yes.
What were you pogging at? I'm probably not the same.
The basketball player. I was like, that's his name, Michael Schack.
Michael Schack. Michael Nut Shack.
It's not Nut Shack.
The story centers on domestic house cat Francis and his grisly feline. And the grisly feline murders taking place in his new neighborhood. That's barely scratching the surface.
So it's a murder mystery noir undertone movie about cats. Stop it. About cats that live in a house in a neighborhood, and there's cat eugenics involved.
Yeah, it turns out that it's a secret. Spoilers. It turns out this is it's a secret plot by.
Well, we don't need to spoil the whole thing, but yeah, it's a secret plot.
We're gonna.
Shaw would love this movie. Shout out to the theater majors to get that joke. I have a degree.
Shaw, like George Bernard Shaw.
Yeah, he was really into eugenics.
Oh.
Yeah, he's a big eugenics fan. Yeah, right.
What the fuck?
But he wrote Pygmalion, so people. Like,
I mean, Pygmalion's not that based. So it actually, the guy who wrote Pygmalion being into eugenics makes complete and total sense. Yeah. That play is literally about. It's the play that My Fair Lady, the musical.
Yeah, I know.
People like him because he was the first playwright to dare to say, like, what if women have agency as characters?
Yeah.
People were like, crazy. And then he's also like, but races should be like, and it's like, uh-oh. Eugenics.
But yeah, I don't think we need to go beat by beat. But
the most notable thing about this movie is that how it tricks you with its animation into thinking it's like almost like a kid's movie, like a Disney movie.
It spends just along,
and then they show a cat's throat getting ripped out.
It's not just the violence; it's also that you'll be sitting there watching it, and for enough time will go by without anything adult happening that you'll just be thinking of it as, okay, this is one of those like dark 80s kids movies. It's never like super kid friendly.
Like The Last Unicorn.
Yeah, or something like that. And then they'll bring up like cat sex. Or like they'll just say sex.
Or there'll be a dream where like this.
Or there'll be a dream where an evil guy uses dead cat corpses as puppets and their body parts go falling everywhere and dangling. That, Jesus Christ, that scene is one of the most graphic things I've ever seen.
Our friend watched this as a child. I can't imagine.
He stumbled upon it on YouTube as a child because he was looking for cute cat movies.
You know, as you do.
And I gotta respect the grind set though of him watching the whole thing. Like I would have turned it off at least at the.
I would have turned it off when the guy's throat got cut.
Yeah, or
little Becky.
Or even the dream with the dude, the human without a face. This movie gets fucked up.
Yeah.
Many cats die.
Many cats. Some of them get disemboweled.
I'll say it. Good. I'm kidding. I like cats.
You want cats to die? Yeah. 3 people are dead and you want cats to die?
What the fuck?
I do.
I'm
tired of pretending I don't.
There's also a cat sex scene.
It's so hot.
That really came so out of nowhere, and like the resolving of the plot line, like you really didn't need that scene. I feel like the eugenics, it's eugenics, but instead of white people, it's Egyptian cats, the original cats, the master race of cats.
I don't even think those are actually the original cats.
What's kind of shocking about the movie for me is that it's like surprisingly like compelling.
No, it's really
the mystery, while I guess like
little.
It wasn't.
Well, I think it wasn't the like conclusion of like who is behind it. We all predicted.
Yeah.
How it's happening and like the road to it is like really compelling.
Yeah,
and you don't know where it's going.
It's a genuinely well put together mystery story. There's red herrings.
Most of the deaths shocked me.
Like deaths, and you never expect who's gonna. I did not expect.
I thought there was a character that was gonna be a love interest. No.
Nope.
Acts like halfway through.
Yep.
Yeah, and then he gets progressively worse love interests.
Yeah.
Everyone is a downgrade.
Love interest.
I mean, yeah, they all get worse.
I like
except for his best friend, who they never confirm is his love interest.
No, but they probably.
I also like his weird like noir stuff. The main character's voice sounds like he's, and this is a dub that we watch.
Yes.
The main character's voice sounds like he's in a radio play.
I kind of like that. I like that.
No, it works for his like noir narration.
Like a detached detective.
I'm known amongst our group for dunking on Europeans, so take this with a grain of salt. I recommend the dub because, in my perspective, I feel like the sub is just like the cats going like, "This guy's right."
Our German viewers are gonna love that. I don't think we have
all 5 of them. Yeah. Oh, there's also a cat named Joker.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He's he's in like one scene though.
Yeah.
No, there's some stuff in this movie that makes you go, wait, what? They just did that?
If you title this podcast Inflation Cast, we could get some more new viewers.
You're right, and I hate that you're right.
No.
They hated Jesus because he told the truth. But yeah, no, I think the movie was like way more compelling than it had any.
I know. I was just expecting it to be like dark, edgy, animated movie, but it wasn't even like the edge and the set. Well, I mean, the sex scenes doesn't need to be there, but like the violence and the discussion of sex is all plot relevant.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's a really good kind of. If this movie wasn't violent as fuck, it could be a really good way to educate children on the dangers of eugenics. Weirdly. Too bad you shouldn't show this to kids.
I mean, to be fair, I feel like everyone needs education on the dangers of eugenics. So,
yeah.
Many adults, most likely.
George Bernard Shaw among them.
Among?
Show this to George Bernard Shaw.
I need to be eugenic.
Yeah. So you need to be like perfected, quote unquote.
You need to find.
I need to have the sus gene.
Wait, you're telling me you need to like try to find your like your
origin?
Here he goes.
Your origin.
I need to. I need to have my evolution.
You need your evolution.
My Dragonball Evolution.
You know what's funny is throughout we just got done watching all these movies, and up until now he's been like, "Hey, I'm just a little tie-tie," and then the second the camera's on, he's like, "Oh!" He's back to the Colin we know and love. I just gotta record you. And
Akira. I was just vibing for Dragonball Evolution. Drained a lot of my energy like right away.
We should have. This. Well, at the same time, I didn't want to do that movie second because then you would have been sleepwalking through Akira.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh wait. Oh, we did Evolution and then Akira. Yeah. I like doing the bad movie first, the weird movie second, and the good movie third. Like, if we have ones that are bad, weird, and good, which
well, that's how our original setup was, except for Meet the Feebles.
Oh,
God. That was visceral. That was real.
Every time it's brought up, I go...
Well, like, I'm just bringing it up because that was our original structure, was we have the boring one, the weird one, and the good one. Except we reversed Meet the Feebles and Rug Cop in order.
Dragonball Evolution.
Dragonball Evolution. We're actually going to it now.
So, actual timestamp.
I felt very vindicated being brought on for this episode because I love anime, but also I'm a big Dragon Ball fan.
Yeah, I'm the lack of anime knowledge guy. I think that's why I was sitting in the middle, like, slumped the whole time, is I've got you guys on both sides of me.
Well, because
if
you're not an anime fan, there's nothing to talk about.
I know, I was just
what are the
They turned Dragon Ball into I Am Number 4, but not as funny.
What are the 5 movies we said this ripped off?
So this movie rips off a bunch of movies, none of them Dragon Ball.
None of them anime either.
No.
So
they did a challenge to make this as Milkwood Toast generic American movie as possible.
So here's what I wrote, and I think we have more, but we didn't complete it all. So Lord of the Rings.
There's a little bit of that 2000s trying to ape Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings, The Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Goku predates the Amazing
very
Spider-Man.
Sometimes
this predates the
specifically
but his interactions with Chi-Chi are extremely Gwen Stacy Peter Parker.
It's weird because it came out first, but it feels like it's trying to. I was also thinking that it's trying to be Emma Stone, Andrew Garfield.
I think this was just the script writing style at the time.
Yeah. I'm number 4. I've not seen that, but I'm taking their word for it.
I'm number 4 as a stand-in
here's
for
a shot. Here's a shot of Piccolo. Here's a shot of a Mogadorian.
Yeah, Piccolo is basically.
Spot the difference.
Piccolo is basically a Mogadorian in this movie.
Moggers.
He is just Lumen.
I am number
and just like Lumen, it gets more powerful the harder you have a boner.
Lumen.
Lubba.
Another joke that you guys don't get. Sorry. That was if Toby's watching this, he'll love that joke.
Okay. Toby is the one who recommended us Felidae. So if we tell him we talked about Felidae, he'll watch this.
I hope he's here for the Dragonball Evolution.
That
Lumen reference is for you.
Stuck around.
What is it we do here?
Stick around after
the next movie rips
special reference
is Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, movie that came out 10 years later.
Piccolo escaped containment.
It's almost like this is just a generic Hollywood like crockery pot. Crock pot? I don't know what I just said. But,
you piece of crockery.
You piece of crockery pot.
There's an episode of that show called Crocker Blocker, I think, or Crock Blocks, I think.
Oh my god.
You just got crock blocked, Turner!
I like how we
gotta bookmark this impression for later.
Yeah.
Bookmark it.
We're trying so hard not to talk about
Because there's nothing to talk about in Dragon Ball Evolution. You can tell what characters are somewhat similar to their anime counterparts. I should say I've seen one episode of any Dragon Ball thing ever, but I can tell what characters are somewhat anime-like and what characters are not at all. Goku, they turned Goku into number 4. They turned Goku into a YA protagonist. Bulma is nothing.
Bulma is nothing.
Chi-Chi is nothing.
Chi-Chi is also nothing except for a boob window. Except for a bunch of cleavage shots.
Her cleavage shots get more and more.
It starts up here and then it just starts slowly grinding down.
I just want to say before, because I want to jump into this discussion with you guys. The other 2 movies we wrote were Buffy, which isn't a movie, but maybe in a movie at some point.
It's James Marsters Spike plays Piccolo,
and then Twilight. Because if you see the movie, you'll know what.
There's a shot.
There's a shot.
Yeah.
Anyway.
They go to the Twilight.
I forgot what I was going to say, and my head is throbbing.
I jumped on your word, buddy. I'll talk to
drink some water.
Take a break.
I hate Dragon Ball.
This movie takes a lot out of him. This movie is horrible.
It's truly horrendous because it's not even bad in a way that is fun. It's bad in a way that you
stop. This movie is the equivalent of watching a normal movie that's a 5 out of 10, but every 5 seconds someone's crinkling a water bottle next to your ear, so the whole experience is ruined. Because this movie sucks. It's really bad.
Why does Goku turn into a big monkey at the end? Fuck off! Fuck off! Fuck off! Fuck off! Fuck off!
Okay, but that's better than the original concept they had, where they were gonna make him an alien.
He is an alien!
No, I mean like a big green alien.
Oh, because he's like with Piccolo?
Yes.
That makes sense.
They changed their minds.
Dragonball Evolution spoiler.
Yeah, Dragon Ball.
They changed their minds because fans got wind of this in the script and were like, "That's fucking stupid."
This is one of
so they changed it back to a monkey.
I think the best part of the movie is when the evil boob window lady disguises herself
as 2 boob
window lady, and then they have the classic which one is real scene with Goku. Except Goku fails it harder than any character I've ever seen. His girlfriend, Chi-Chi, she gets knocked over. No.
The evil one is knocked over.
Evil one gets knocked over.
And she goes, "Help me,
Goku!" And Goku immediately punches the real Chi-Chi in the face.
He didn't even consider for a second he was being tricked.
Only an imposter Chi-Chi could fight well.
Oh, no, you said help me? That means you're evil. Boom, 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 boom. It's horrible. The performances range from funny to just bored to like. I don't think anyone's like bad in the sense of like, oh, you're like really like swinging and missing. You're either not trying or you're like not taking it seriously.
Yeah.
There's no one who's like into it who's failing at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're either trying and yeah.
The two best performances are Chow Yun Fat and the guy who plays Yamcha.
Yeah, weirdly Yamcha's good.
Well,
Yes.
they get the joke that Yamcha's a guy who thinks he's cool, but is
no,
actually a loser.
Yamcha gave me Yakuza side quest vibes the whole time.
That's who he is basically in Dragon Ball.
Yeah, well the thing about Yamcha is he has the best line, my favorite line in the movie, where I think Bulma was like,
You're a cold-hearted bandit.
and he says, I'm a cold-hearted bandit with a ladder.
This isn't
It's a good line.
This isn't a movie completely devoid of good moments. They're sprinkled,
I'd still give it a
but
1 out
it's
of 10.
still really bad. Yeah.
It's
Maybe a 2 if I'm feeling generous, but
Right.
like
it's
horrible.
The worst thing about it is that it's a bad, generic movie with the Dragon Ball name slapped on it.
I was gonna say I think if it was if it was a completely independent thing that wasn't based on any other media, I would give it a 2. But as a Dragon Ball adaptation, that
0.
moves it down to a 1 or a 0.
It's like a gas station movie. You know? If it wasn't Dragon Ball Evolution, it would be a movie you find at a gas station being like, is that Ernie Hudson? You know?
Yeah, Ernie
Is that
Hudson.
nobody's favorite
Ernie
Ghostbuster?
Hudson is in this movie for some reason. Like, okay, he
Uh-huh.
plays like one of the mystical warriors.
Also, what a superfluous character. I feel like they offered him like Roshi or something and he turned it down, but then later he's like, you're doing a Dragon Ball movie? Yeah, I'll do it. My kids are into that. And they're like, oh, fuck. Write him someone down.
And then he got on set.
Oh, the other movie rips off is The Last Airbender.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they call Ki airbending.
Why? Multiple times they're like, this is the most basic crane strike of all the airbending techniques.
And you're like, my brother in Christ, you have a set of moves that's... you already have a power system.
You have the moves like Jagger. You have the moves like Dragon Ball.
If that movie...
We got the
if that
moves
song had-
like Dragon Ball.
If that song had come out by now, they would have put it in that movie.
Is that song referencing Mick Jagger?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, interesting. I'm really bad at understanding what songs are about, especially if they're about sex. I never know if a song's about sex.
Well, you know what isn't about sex? I don't know. Death Note.
I guess you're marginally right.
So, Death Note.
Netflix's Death Note.
Oh my
What
god.
an interesting movie.
This was really fun.
What an interesting movie.
So, when this movie came out, everyone hated it. And everyone told me, don't watch Death Note. And I watched it, and I kind of liked it.
It's good.
I was like, this movie kind of good. See, because it does the thing I love when a movie's bad, which is it's 60% corny as fuck and schlocky to where you're having a good time, and then 40% kind of compelling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a 100% good movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
There was never a boredom point.
No.
I was either unironically enjoying it or
the most you were like, wait, what's going on in like the third act?
Yeah.
The third it's funny because Death Note
Continuing the Death Note tradition
Yeah.
of having
Death
a
Note can't
wonky
end.
third
Death
act.
Note-
Death Note doesn't know how to end. The anime I feel like the movie has like
A better ending.
The anime starts way higher than the movie ever gets, but ends worse than the movie.
I think it was such a quantum leap for me from Dragon Ball Evolution in terms of the acting.
Yes.
Yes.
Because
Everybody's actually true.
We talked about with Dragon Ball Evolution where it's like no one's trying, so it doesn't feel like anyone's failing. In this movie, maybe you could arguably say there's like a couple, like 1 or 2 failures in there, but like everyone is trying. Like Lakeith Stanfield and Willem Dafoe in particular.
They understood the assignment and tried their hardest.
To the point where if both of them were in it, like, you know, they're both really good picks for Elle and Ryu.
Yeah, if you're ever gonna make another attempt at a Death Note movie, keep those two.
Yes, I agree with that.
Recast them. Re-grab them.
And the Naked Brothers band boy,
He was good.
he was fine. For the character he's playing, he's pitch perfect.
The Light Turner in this movie.
Turner!
Light Turner.
Definitely got
Light
pants!
Turner's an average kid that no one understands. Dad and me trying to give all of him commands. I'm Ryuk!
Shinigami in his room. It's something like that in the parody.
I know the song, but I don't know.
Well, it's magical little Shinigami who grants his every wish.
Something like that.
But in reality, they are his Agami Shinigami.
There's something there. There's something there.
Light Turner is not Light Yagami.
No.
They are not the same.
Instead
Or
of
as I say, again.
Instead of being a like Satan fall from grace metaphor of what happens to power corrupts, it's what if a dumbass had the power of a god?
They made Light. He's not stupid.
No,
but
he's just not a genius. Like
he's bright at best.
Yeah.
They took him from genius sociopath and made him quiet kid with a dark side waiting to be unleashed.
Quiet kid with a chip on his shoulder.
So
yeah, which sounds bad, but
they actually
I feel like they thought it out really well.
They also analyzed like what that stereotype is.
They gave him complex actual motivations that differ from his motivations in the show.
Hey, you're over 18, right? So technically, if you were to hit me, that'd be child. You could be arrested for child abuse.
So you better back the fuck.
It's like somebody watched the anime and was like, okay, but here's how pathetic Light would be.
I think. Yeah. Anyone who's seen this movie before and hated it, I implore you to watch it again.
And put the anime out of your mind and take only the base concept of
what if there was a book that could kill anyone by just writing their name in it?
And then what the movie becomes is this kind of, you know,
instead of Light,
this entertaining kind of schlocky thriller about
with some really cool kills.
Instead of Light being a sociopathic mastermind,
not really cool, but
he's
cool
like
kills.
he's.
Almost on Final Destination level.
Also, the love interest is straight up like Mia. Is straight up an improvement of Misa. Instead of Misa being a character that gets in the way and has no agency.
I feel like Misa was just there to establish how bad of a dude Light was. Like, oh, he's a gaslighting asshole.
Yeah. But also, she's like a piece of shit in Death Note because she's like willing to kill people in like this like love quest. Oh my god, what a word. For Light. And it just kind of makes her this, like...
You mean Misa?
Misa.
Yeah.
Because it makes her this nothing character of, like...
She's not a good person, but she's not really a bad person.
She has no sense of morality.
In the movie,
she's
Mia...
just a fucking sociopath.
In the movie, Mia is the instigator of a lot of the fucked up shit. Because she's the one who has, like,
she's Bella.
She's the villain of the movie.
Yeah.
She's Bella if Bella was, like, a fucking crazy
She gives off
person.
She gives off Bella from Twilight vibes if you cranked up the menace and, like, ego complex way high.
Because what they changed about Light, which I really liked for this movie, is that they make him, in the show, Light's sense of morality is... I'm going to kill all the bad guys, and anyone who gets in my way or thinks about getting in my way, I kill them, no question. Versus in the movie, he doesn't want to kill anyone who gets in his way.
He avoids killing innocent
There's
people.
FBI agents who are like trailing him, and Mia's like, we gotta kill them. And he's like, no, I'm not gonna kill these people. They're just, they were given a job and they're doing it. They don't know any better.
So it completely changes the setup of the premise and makes their version of Misa have way more agency in the story. But also by the end, they actually, like, the third act gets messy.
Yeah,
I kind of like it.
The third act gets messy, but it's very fun. The Ferris wheel, like...
It's a lot of... The chase is really fun.
Yeah.
You guys... no one reacted to it, but there's one point where Elle just pushes someone's face into soup. I don't think there was a need to, but he's just like...
Elle is amazing, and Ryuk are amazing.
Those are my two best performances.
Absolutely amazing.
Two great actors. I love Willem Dafoe, and I really love Lakeith Stanfield.
Why do I always say Seinfeld?
I don't know. At one point, you called him something like...
You said, like, L. Keith Seinfeld.
L. Keith Seinfeld. Coleman, can you mock up an image of L. Keith Seinfeld for us?
Keith.
Oh, god damn it.
But yeah.
And I like they also change how some of the Death Note, the book's powers work. Like, the Death Note in this movie...
make it way more powerful.
The Death Note in this movie is way more powerful than the Death Note in the
Like, it's basically
anime.
mind control.
You can basically control people to do... Like, Light tries to get L's name midway through the movie by basically mind controlling Watari into going and finding it.
And eventually, Light just does his bidding by having pedophiles help him.
Yeah.
It's a weird sentence, but
and then having them die. After.
Yeah, so he'll be like, this pedophile will save me from the burning building, and then kill himself.
Yeah, and
so
he
it's
writes
like
that all in the notebook and he can do
because
that.
he wrote that, it means he lives by default.
Yeah.
And then the pedophile dies.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
It's
Light
crazy.
in this movie is like debatably not debatably, is a better person, and it fails in the writing to fully make you sympathize with him, but you almost kind of like him a little.
Yeah.
I would argue it was the semblance of how you would write Death Note in a way that you would want Light to win.
This makes more changes than this is probably
it's
the
the
most
thing that changes the most without fundamentally changing.
This
the
is
concept.
probably the most changes I've seen in an adaptation where it still feels like it's stuck.
And it's also proof that you can make an adaptation that changes things and have it be fun.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Evolution is not bad because it changes things.
No, it's bad because they didn't want to make a Dragon Ball movie.
And it was just bad. It's just a bad movie.
But Death Note we made some pretty big changes, but they liked the original. It respected the original concept.
Yeah.
And it respected the characters, or at the very least, the dynamics between the characters. It changes Light and
it understands the base appeal.
Yeah.
Of watching these two masterminds sort of play chess with each other.
Yeah.
The one I will say, there's a lot less mind games.
It's less mind.
When L confronts him, he's basically like, "Yeah, I'm Kira."
But it's a lot more but it's still a lot about L, L and his perspective on things versus
Light and his perspective on things.
Yeah.
Also, Light's dad is kind of a more interesting character in this movie than he is in the than the show.
Yeah.
Well, because he's a
different character.
Yeah.
He's this he's smarter for one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. He at the end he figures out that Light is Akira.
Yeah.
In my mind, this
Akira.
In my mind, this is
Save
it. In my mind, this is what these adaptations should do, because the problem every anime American adaptation live action has is they either, and they rarely do this, but it's anime adaptations tend to either go beat for beat and then it's just kind of awkward
because it's just a soulless
pale imitation of. Or they
change it so much
that it doesn't even feel like what it was. Dragon Ball Evolution.
I think
this is right in the middle.
Is the concept of Death Note is genius.
Yes.
I think it's maybe the greatest.
The concept of Death Note is arguably better than the actual Death Note show.
I would agree with that. It's up there in one of the most hooking concepts I've heard ever, which is this notebook, you write in a name that can kill people.
No,
then that
no questions asked. No consequences.
But then that enters how just one genius using the notebook defeat another genius who has remained anonymous his entire life. So, and then pitting them against each other and how they can find and how one can find the other in this game of cat and mouse. It's a genius concept. And I think if you take the base elements of that and transition to in whatever format you want, you have the basis of a pretty decent story.
Yeah.
And
I think I could see why
people,
I can see why people really attached to the anime in particular would not enjoy this movie.
People hate this movie.
Yeah.
We are being pretty bold by saying that all three of us like it.
Yeah. I really like it. It's really fun.
Yeah.
I think it's a solid watch.
And I will say, this is one of the funnest movies we watched for the Fear podcast.
It's a really good. I would argue it's a really good draft for what in my opinion. I said this when we were watching the movie. I would love for Death Note to become a Breaking Bad style show.
Yeah.
Give Vince Gilligan fucking Death.
I would just love for I just not to go all cinematic universe on it, but the idea of just get different stories that you can tell revolving around the Death Note.
Yeah, but also just the idea of this what I gave you, book that kills people, cat and mouse game. That would work so much better with. I'm gonna say a controversial opinion here, but better writers. Because the Death Note,
both the anime and the movie.
Yeah, because that's maybe the conversation people already have is that Death Note. I love it. It's not.
Watch the Big Joel has a great video on Death Note and how it gets bad.
It gets really bad. And it's one of those cases where, like, the first 10 episodes are great, but it just falls off gradually, and there's so much stupid shit in Death Note. By the end, it has gone from, like, a 10 out of 10 show to, like, a 6 or a 5. And it sucks. And, like, there's just many instances where it doesn't feel like the writers know what they want to do. And I would just love if Death Note was in the hands of, you know, some more...
Like a limited series where it's like, we have this idea, we're going to explore it over this number of episodes, and we're going to get these people.
I mean, yeah, go as, like, in-depth with the characters and thinking as you do in, like, an HBO series.
Yeah.
And you could have the next big thing.
Because this is a concept for an anime that people will take it seriously.
Yeah.
Like, Death Note probably takes itself more seriously than any other good anime live-action movie I've ever seen.
I'm gonna say another thing that's gonna make you guys laugh. But Death Note kind of isn't that dissimilar from Breaking Bad. Walter White Heisenberg, Light Yagami Kira, Hank is kind of like Soichiro in his own little way, /L.
Oh my god.
Tell me I'm wrong!
Gus pops out and says, "We are not the same."
Gus is
like evil L.
I was gonna say Gus is like Ryu.
Gus is like, okay, well, I was about to Breaking Bad spoilers. Coleman, could you put it like a brief time code for Breaking Bad spoilers? Wait, have you seen Breaking Bad? I won't risk it. Never mind. I was gonna make a joke. I'll tell you after we finish recording, buddy.
Okay.
It's a good joke.
Sam.
Have we said everything we want to say about Netflix's Death Note?
I think
or
so.
Do we have more to say about it?
Is there anything else you guys want to say about it?
It's funny.
It is funny.
It's really funny.
It's
unintentionally in a lot of areas.
Sometimes unintentionally.
Willem Dafoe is funny.
There's a great line in there.
Would you
shut the fuck up? Would you shut the fuck up, okay? It's great.
Now I'm rooting for this guy.
Would you shut the fuck up?
Honestly, I wish Willem Dafoe's Ryuk had more.
Yeah, he's not in it too much.
Yeah,
probably couldn't. It was probably a really expensive effect.
Yes,
yeah,
it looks good.
He looks really good.
It's the best.
You can tell that's
Ryuk has ever looked in like 3D animated or live action.
Yeah,
I'd agree with that.
I love the way that he's always kind of in that he looks actually scary.
I mean, and it makes you wonder, like, where they get this animation budget. You also think that when you're watching the movie Akira.
Hey!
I'm one of the boys! You made the transition joke! I'm on the FEARcast!
I learned it from
watching you, Dad! So Bart Kira.
Fuck off.
I heard a Simpsons joke recently. Sorry, this is very brief.
Okay.
I heard a Simpsons joke recently that I really liked, where Lisa's like trying to buy a cat, and she's like, "What does this one do?" And he's like, the guy's selling, like, "It writes mystery novels." And she goes, "How does it do that?" And he says, "Well, he starts from the ending and he works backwards." I love the Simpsons. Man.
Okay, cutaway gag, Andy.
Cutaway gag, Andy.
What is cutaway gag, Andy?
I don't know. I'm just trying to insult you.
Oh, well, why Andy? Ah! Oh, it's just sucking the fear out of me.
Okay.
Akira.
I mean, I'll say it. Masterpiece.
I'll say it.
Yeah.
Based.
It's fun.
It's like
everything that I wanted Ghost in the Shell to be.
Ghost in the Shell sucks.
I don't like that movie.
I'm dropping the unpopular.
No, because we both agreed.
I mean, I'm not like.
I guess you didn't.
I'm not a Ghost in the Shell head, but like.
Okay, I will say what I hear is that the movie's a jumping off point for the rest of the franchise.
Yes, honestly,
the rest
of the franchise is probably better.
And most people tell me that the movie isn't the best part of the franchise.
Really?
I just wasn't as into it.
I was gonna say, but Akira's everything I liked about Ghost of the Shell. Everything I liked about Ghost in the Shell is like kind of present in Akira. You've got
they're very similar sort of post-apocalyptic cyberpunk worlds.
Yeah. But the difference is Akira has a plot with an ending, and like it's way less philosophical.
Ghost of the Shell was clearly just a story happening in a larger world.
Yeah.
For better or for worse.
Recently, my dad.
Akira was an actual plot.
Yeah. My dad doesn't like animated movies, which is weird.
Not based.
He just can't get into them for whatever reason. He's old. Sorry, Dad. But we were watching like something and it said like this animated movie directed by, and my dad was like, how could an animated movie have a director? And I was like, you dumb idiot. But if someone said that to me and I needed like visual proof, I would show them Akira.
Yeah.
Akira is maybe in the like top 10 of the best directed movies of all time.
Yeah.
Well, because like the guy who directed it also wrote it and also wrote the manga.
Yeah. So he knows so well what he needs to look like visually.
Yeah.
And also like, how the story needs
the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, the first like 20 minutes is 90% show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
show don't tell.
Like this movie's masterful of like showing you what you need to see and telling you what you need to be told, but not telling you too much.
Not telling you more than you need to be told.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of movies think that just because you tell someone, that means you can tell them everything, and it's like, no. Yeah. We only need to know so much.
So, for those who haven't seen it, Akira is the story of this biker boy named Kaneda whose like little baby boy friend Tetsuo gets mixed up and like becomes this psychic.
I will say I think this movie might be best enjoyed when the less you know. So
yeah. Well, we'll just give a brief.
But of course, we'll still give a brief. I just wanted to say that like. If you've heard about Akira and you're planning to watch it, you don't need to watch.
The bottom line is watch.
But if you're not sold yet, keep watching.
Yeah, we're going to talk spoilers. It's set in the year 2019, roughly 30 years after basically a nuclear
in 1988,
bomb. Basically,
World War III happens.
Yeah, a World War III event occurs, which just basically destroyed Tokyo, and they've rebuilt it into this new sort of neo-cyberpunk city. But
it's really cool.
Yeah, but that wealth disparities and stuff is still there, so you have the
classic trappings of these.
And that's where Kaneda and his gang comes in, where they're this local biker gang who sort of doesn't respect authority.
Yeah.
But one day they get caught up in something bigger than themselves when their friend Tetsuo gets in a car accident, in a bike accident, and unlocks psychic powers.
That's a really better description than what I had.
See, it's funny because that bike accident happens because he runs into the like super kid.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys caught when I was asking why the super kid was like blue. I asked some question about him and I called
You call him Akira.
I call him Akira because I knew absolutely nothing about the plot, so I'm like, oh, that's Akira, right?
I haven't seen this movie since freshman year of high school, so in my mind I was like, is that Akira? I was like, did they say something and I missed it?
No, that was
Takahashi.
Yeah.
And then in the background, there's other plots, like there's this government conspiracy going on.
I love the scene of the government.
Every named character has their own plotline.
Yes.
And like a cool, organic way.
Yes.
This movie's very well written.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I think it's just incredible. Visually,
this is like, I can't think, there's only maybe a handful of anime movies that are even on the level or superior to this.
There's one.
It's great slow burn where like in the beginning I was mostly just watching for the visuals without really knowing what was going on.
Yeah.
And I was entertained. And then the more you know what's going on, but it also like
it builds up.
I was worried in like the first 15 minutes that it was going to have a mostly incoherent plot and I was mostly going to be writing on visuals, a la Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah.
But the plot, there is a plot.
Yeah.
There are characters. They have relationships,
and they're more than just philosophical stand-ins.
Full disclosure, before we watched this movie, we were between this and Spirited Away, and I was really rooting for Spirited Away because it's my favorite film.
It's mostly just that I want to show Spirited Away to Coleman if we do like a full gym.
I just like that is my favorite movie of all time. So I was like, please. And then so I didn't remember that Akira that well, so I was like, man, we're watching Akira, whatever. And then like the first 5 minutes, I was like, I'm
80s animation. 80s anime?
I love Spirited Away, but I love this movie as well a lot. I think it's a 9 or a 10.
It's really good.
Yeah.
We watched a good one. We didn't watch live action Ghost in the Shell. We watched a good movie.
The shot with like fucking Kaneda sliding into frame on his bike, so iconic.
Yeah.
Like there's like a billion different references.
What's crazy is that shot's really good in a vacuum. You're like, that's a cool shot. Every shot in the movie is like that. That motorcycle shot is just one of like many that could have been picked out and become a visual shorthand because the movie's just so
like there's one shot that I really like of like a guy dragging a pipe, like he's on a bike and he's dragging a pipe along the ground.
There's so many.
My favorite shot is Kaneda flying through like the void back into a building.
Yeah, that's a really good shot.
I think once per minute there is a jaw-dropping shot.
Yeah.
Once per minute there is a.
There's so much motorcycle.
There's a background-worthy shot, like a wallpaper.
There's so much motorcycle stuff.
Yeah,
like
it's really cool.
Because motorcycles are the coolest way to get around.
So yeah, if we drew a connection between Death Note and Breaking Bad, we also drew a connection. Colin's gonna hate this.
Between Akira
and Licorice Pizza.
Oh, right.
Well, it's a story about this 15-year-old who's trying to get in a relationship with a 20-year-old who doesn't seem that into him, but is kind of into him.
But also, he's the Sigma who
he just doesn't give a shit and like
believes he can operate through life by just moving towards his objective as firmly as possible, and he's yet to be proven wrong.
Yeah,
he's yet to be shown that that's not the way. Kaneda multiple times is like shown like there's trouble, don't do it, and he's like, I'm going to get on my motorcycle and stop this, and he does.
Like there's multiple times where it's like this
Kaneda
is so much.
Such a Chad.
He's such a Chad.
Such a Chad. There's so many moments where it's like Kaneda, this is so much bigger than you. Get out of there, you're gonna die, and then he kicks somebody's ass.
Because he fucking can.
The end of this movie, if
you might argue his plot armor.
If Dragon Ball Evolution and Netflix Death Note, their worst part, or their like least well-written part of the end, Akira is just fucking going all ham on the climax.
Well, because like
absolutely,
it feels like
creepy. It's genuinely unnerving.
Yeah.
The way a certain character meets their end.
Yeah.
God. I mean, at what point can we just start talking spoilers?
I mean, we can talk about them now if you want.
Yeah. Because I think it's hard to talk about this movie without talking about spoilers.
Especially the ending.
Yeah.
Because the ending, is, like, there's so much to talk about with the ending, but all of it is a spoiler.
I really like, I guess spoilers.
Yeah.
I really like the character of Tetsuo.
Yeah.
I think he's really compelling.
Because, like, he's that arc, that character arc that I love, where it's, like, this kid who gets powers beyond their control, and they go crazy wild, and they become, like, the worst version of themselves. But at the end of the day, they're still just a kid.
Yeah.
And they're still a scared little kid at the end of the day.
And what I understand about the manga is that it's a lot more of, like, Tetsuo's evil in the manga. And, like, he has more time with his powers. In this one, he has, like, 8 hours with his powers.
To be fair, it's also because I think in the manga, Akira, who is alive in the manga,
enables him
a
lot. But, like, he's more just, like, outwardly malicious. Whereas in this one, it's more that he just gets a lot of powers and doesn't know how to react to them. So he's just, like, killing people because he's, like, his mind is getting fucked.
Like, he's like, at least I'm strong enough now that I can do whatever I want, that I can save whoever I want, do whatever I want.
And his character's so tied to Kaneda of, like, this was his first friend, but his entire life of knowing Kaneda, he's been affirmed in the idea that you are only okay as long as Kaneda's there.
Yeah.
And if Kaneda's not there, you're fucked. And for the first time in his life, he's shown that he doesn't... Kaneda, like, he like tells Kaneda, like, I want to protect you now. And Kaneda's like, what the fuck? You protect me? But, like, I don't know. I think it's really compelling.
Yeah.
And then for, like, when it all crumbles in the end and he's, like, morphing into this monster, he just goes, like, help me.
But, yeah, and literally the first thing he says when he loses control is, Kaneda, help me.
Yeah. He's, like, back to that little kid of, like... And you remind yourself, like, this is just a child. This is a little boy.
Yeah.
And then that's reinforced by the other psychic children that are literally, like, tiny children.
Like, aged, almost geriatric, but they're still clearly children.
They're little Benjamin Button children.
Yeah.
That's the best way to describe it.
Benjamin
that
Button
are, like, blue.
guys.
Yeah. And one of them's the Baron.
There's, like, 5 Barons in this movie.
Baron coding is the worst thing that has ever happened to every movie I've ever seen. Everything I watch now, I'm just like, that character's Baron coded.
Well, because the thing is, like, there's not a good word for a Baron type character. People would be like the rich asshole, but that doesn't quite describe him.
It's not that they're
We
rich.
have created the word, which is the Baron.
Yeah.
Or you did.
I did.
And then we...
And then we
I
astroturfed
did.
it. I killed
How can there not be an I killed 18 message in a
because this
podcast timeline?
I was gonna say that bit is going to infiltrate every single kind of content that I upload. Streams, fear podcasts. I mean, it itself is a D&D reference.
Stuff.
Soon, oh my god. Soon Dantine will appear in my D&D highlights, and then it will all make sense.
I killed Dantine.
Spoilers, what happens to Dantine.
Spoilers. Dantine.
Oh yeah, that's what people might know me from. I DM that one.
Yeah, you're in those videos.
Yeah, I'm in those.
He's in those videos. You're on screen a lot in those videos.
It's him.
So.
It's mostly me.
It's him.
Yeah.
The guy that okayed killing the baby.
I'm a yes man. I like saying yes to my players. Damn it.
Alright.
Is there anything else we want to talk about with Akira?
I mean, probably, right?
I mean, I'm sure there's stuff. It was just such a roller coaster of a movie. I have trouble pinpointing things that I'm like, I need to talk about.
Yeah, because when you talk about one thing, then you have to start talking about everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, all three of these movies could warrant their own podcast.
Yeah.
Discussion. And there's.
I mean, that's very
except for Dragonball Evolution.
Even then, there's a lot to talk about and how much it fails.
behind the scenes and
There's a lot of
the writer. Sorry, jump back. The writer apologized.
The writer apologized.
Wait, could we read the apology?
Sure, yeah.
That's a good way to.
This is all under the conclusion section of the fear.
Yeah.
But before we exercise Dragon Ball Evolution,
I didn't agree to exercise a dragon. I think it's great. Oh my god, I'm dying. Spoilers, we're exercising Dragon Ball Evolution.
To the surprise of no one.
To the surprise of no one, yes.
But yeah, my ratings. I don't know if you guys do this, but I'm giving Dragon Ball Evolution a 1 out of 10. Maybe it's closer to a 2, but then also Death Note's a 6.
I'm confident in saying 6.
I'm a 6, but like realistically, it's a 5. But I'm giving it a bonus point.
If you take out any ironic value moments, 5.
5.
But if you
it is a well-made movie that fails at its basic premise.
And then Akira's a 10.
And then
whatever. I don't give out 10s a lot. But
I'll do it.
I don't give a shit. There's nothing wrong with it.
The eliteness of Akira and Nausicaa.
Well, actually, the manga is better and more coherent.
I don't give a shit. Here's the apology. I knew that it would eventually come down to this one day. Dragon Ball Evolution marked a very painful creative point in my life. To have something with my name on it as a writer be so globally reviled is gut-wrenching. To receive hate mail from all over the world is heartbreaking. I spent so many years trying to deflect the blame, but at the end of the day, it all comes down to the written word on the page, and I take full responsibility for what was such a disappointment to so many fans. I did the best I could, but at the end of the day, I dropped the Dragon Ball.
Ooh!
I dropped
do we even need to exercise it after that?
That was the exorcism speech.
That's harsher
right
than
there.
anything we could say about Dragon Ball.
That was the exorcism. What is this?
This is Incredibles, Rise of the Underminer.
The video game.
Dragon Ball Evolution. Ignore the title. You have brought unspeakable evil upon this earth. You are responsible for Dragon Ball Super, which is its own can of worms. What do you have to say for yourself?
That hasn't already been said by the writer in his brutal...
dropped the Dragon Ball.
Drop the Dragon Ball!
Drop the Dragon Ball! Drop these nuts! Oh!
Fear!
Fear!
I have my own channel that you should check out. It's called Jack Corey.